Hey, Twin Cities, it's your good friend, it's your pal, it's your compadre. It's TC, everybody. How you doing? What's going on the big show today? Well, I'm a day late, but thank God I'm not $1 short, and I'll talk about that in First Customer. We're a little day late there. I got a little sidetracked there. So, like I said, this is my journey, and this is what I do. So, what is it? It's February 20... This is supposed to be the show for the 27th, so I'll say the 27th, 2012. Hope you're having a good one. Of course, we're expecting this snow in Minnesota, and it looks like it's fizzled out here as I record the show about 11 a.m. on, the Tuesday, February 28th. So, I don't know. What are you going to do? Of course, this doesn't make it an evergreen show, but hey, the topics here are always evergreen, right? You know what evergreen is? For the longest time, I never knew what evergreen was, but obviously it's like if you're doing a comedy show, as long as you're not talking about, oh, Jimmy Carter, did you hear what he said? Ronald Reagan in the debate last night? But I guess everything is a little topical in some ways, right? I mean, if you're watching Dick Van Dyke from 1962 or whatever, it was recorded in 1962 because, well, it's not in HD, it's in black and white. But oh boy, Mary Tyler's pants, ooh, baby. That's why I look forward to Mary Tyler Moore wearing those nice pants. They're nice pants. Anyway, so. All right. What's going on the show today? Well, a couple of things, as always. We have my journey, talk a little bit about what's going on with me. And, of course, this show is my journey. Trying to figure out what I want this show to be, if I want to be doing this show, and how it will evolve. And it can only evolve if you're involved. So, and, of course, you can be just a passive person who maybe listens in every once in a while, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You can also, tell a friend if you enjoy the show. Or, you can tune out and never hear it again. And, what am I to do there, right? If I've lost you by now, I've lost you. So, but anyways, one of the things is my journey. I got to figure out what the show is and what it's all about. And then always a little Twin Cities talk because I'm a Twin Cities boy, native, born and raised here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Hopkins initially, and then Stillwater at the end of my time, and now living back on the east side. I did prefer the east side just because I think there's less traffic. Obviously, the west side, there's a lot going on over there. It's a great part of town. But I got to go. I'm an east side boy now. And that's the way I like it. KC and the Sunshine Band. Whatever. And then finally, a little first customer talk. What's first customer? Well, I want to be your first customer. In fact, I'll tell you about, I got some money burning up a hole in my my hand right here as I finger through it. Oh my God. Please be an adult, not a little boy, not like a teenager when you talk about fingering through something, so let's not even go there. All right. We like to have a little fun here, but of course we believe in morality and sincerity as well. So my apologies to you if you're offended. That's too bad. Well, what are you going to do, right? You need to loosen up a little bit. But at the same time, we need to tighten up a little bit too. Screw with a nut, baby. Wait, that sounds wrong too. Everything is not some sort of sexual innuendo. I mean, could I say that JetBlue is coming to the Twin Cities and not make it sound sexually innuendo-based? Well, probably not. I don't know. Hey, I see Madonna added, speaking of weird things, Madonna added a second show to the Twin Cities, so you guys got that going for you. All right, so first customer coming up later on, and there you go. So what's going on? My journey here. Of course, as I mentioned, I'm late to doing the show today, and I'm kind of meandering here around here, and this is part of doing a show. A couple times a week, Mondays and Thursdays, you can find us at HeyTC.com. That's Hey as in H-E-Y. Sorry, I went to public school. You can't expect anything more. I have a public school education. What do you want from me? Anyway, so HeyTC is spelled H-E-Y-T-C as in Twin Cities.com, or you can find us on YouTube. There's no podcast MP3 download available for the show yet, because I want to make sure I do the show day in, day out. Well, Monday in, Thursday out. And once we get about 20 shows in the books, then I'll look at, creating a podcast for it. But right now I'm just taking it easy. I've been working on the site a little bit. I've been trying to get a look for the site, right? We'll see how it goes. And then, of course, I want to inject the first customer part of that into it as well. So, but anyways, oh, yeah, as I was saying, first customer, in case you're curious, is, if you're on welfare, Social Security, you're unemployed, or maybe you got a shitty job in Eden Prairie. Well, hey, you can start your own business. Everybody can start their own business. That's what America used to be all about. In fact, that's what America's always been about, is starting your own business. You don't come here and do nothing. Of course, you can live off the land, but if you want to make a little money, have a little extra for your family, you need to, sell some chickens. You need to sell some corn. You need to sell some brownies. You need to sell, in-house massages. Is that legal? Probably. I know that the state senate and the legislature and the governor's office, I think there's a lot of in-house massages going on there in St. Paul. So can't be all bad, right? Yeah, there you go. So a little late doing the show today. I'm not gonna make any excuses. I had kind of a tough day on Monday. I went to the doctor. That really wasn't the excuse. I went to see a new doctor. My doctor left to become a hospitalist, and now I've had to find a new doctor. It's a female doctor. I've never had a female doctor before. And, the good news is that she said, what all the male doctors have said before as soon as I, disrobed. Wow. The bad news is I don't think this is a good wow. I'm finally, after, 40 years, I've realized that this wow that I get every time is not a good wow. So, anyways, but no, there was no disrobing, but, Anyways, the moral, the verdict was, hey, your blood pressure is high. I tell the doctor, my blood pressure is only high whenever I go to the doctor. And it's true. And, hey, you need to lose some weight there, fatty. So what are you going to do? So I got a plan of action. Try to get a little more exercise, eat less, and try to drop the wow factor. That's what's going on there. So anyway, so I had a bad day yesterday, and I know I wanted to do the show, but I didn't do the show. I didn't force myself to do it. That's what I need to do. You need to go through it. You need to do it even if you feel crappy. Because it's your job. Once again, the Vince Lombardi, Tim Tiblowitz thing. You need to do your job. What's funny now is I'm talking about Vince Lombardi and Mr. Tim Tiblowitz from Major Geeks, and I see he posts on Facebook on MajorGeeks.com, if you follow Major Geeks, that I'm taking some days off for the first time in 18 years. I'm thinking, here I start talking about the guy, about how he always shows up for work, does his job every day, and then he finally posts, after 18 years of not taking a break, I'm going to take a break. And this is a guy that works on Saturdays and Sundays as well. So, yeah, whatever. So I thought that was kind of bitter irony. But here I am on Tuesday. I'm a day late, but I'm doing the show, and that's part of my journey. I just need to do the show. One other thing going on in my family life, I've had a little bit of an issue come up where I'm wondering, can you go bankrupt? Can you run out of money from being too proud? And I think the answer has proven to be yes. We all want to present ourselves as something that we aren't. I'm just a poor schlub. Nobody loves me, 'cause it's easy come, easy go. Let me love and let me know. Hey, mama girl. And so we all want to present. Neil Peart, of course, I don't know if you know this, is in studio again, and he's smiling at me. What's that, Neil? So somebody turn on his mic. Turn on Neil's mic. His mic doesn't work. What kind of 2-bit operation we running here? This is Hey Twin Cities, man. We should have at least Sharon, what was her name? Stephen Sharon from Twin Cities Live or Twin Cities Talk way back in the 80s. But anyways, we got to get those guys in. But Neil Peart, smiling at me, says that it is a sin to be too proud. And yes, we all present ourselves very negatively. Ayn Rand for the win. What? What did that have to do with anything? Neil Peart, apparently a big Ayn Rand fan. Yeah, she seems pretty smart to me. If you're gonna have a society that's all about being entitled, what are you gonna do? Anyway, so that's another sin altogether, I guess. Entitlement. I guess maybe that should be the 8 deadly sins now. Being entitled. like that jackal in Ohio who shot up the school. He sounded like an entitled bitch to me. Excuse my French. But anyways, dealing with an issue in my family where it seems that the people who've always presented themselves as being successful, it turns out are having major problems. And I'm just curious if you've ever done that. I think I've done that to a point. I've done it with the car I've driven. Before the car I had right now, I had a 2008 Toyota Sequoia. One of those big-ass honking four-wheel drive SUVs. It was a magical vehicle. I loved it. But in the end, I mean, could we afford it? Yeah, potentially we could have afforded it. But should we afforded it? No, we shouldn't have. We should have put that money away and saved it for the future, or saved it on going to Vegas every weekend, baby. Would have rather done that in some ways, but. Whoa, I don't know what that was. That's part of my journey. That was like kind of like a little horse snort or something, but I'm going to leave it in. I'm not going to edit that out because, I know you love it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So remember that. Sometimes, driving a crappy vehicle and living in a one-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment isn't so bad, especially if you're able to squirrel, away, $2,000 a month, It's not so bad. So anyways, I hope this, I don't know what's going to happen with the situation that, is in my family. And I think pride is a sin, if we're going all religious on us here, pride is not a good thing, sometimes, I know you got to be proud of yourself, blah, whatever. You deserve it. No, you don't deserve it. That's the moral of the story there. So I want to get angry today, but I'm not finding I have the passion. So we'll see. Hey, if you want to shoot me an email, of course, it's HeyTC. You can go to HeyTC.com, or you can email me at TC, Twin Cities, at HeyTC.com, TC at HeyTC.com. Little Twin Cities talk. Of course, the Oscars were on, Sunday night on the wonderful KSTP, and it looks like it went about 3.5 hours, maybe a little longer, because I ended up watching Walking Dead, which now it's gotten to the point with The Walking Dead where I've kind of started making fun of The Walking Dead, just like I have with Dexter, because Dexter has been so horribly bad the last couple of years, and now The Walking Dead is really quite bad as well. So I ended up finishing watching Walking Dead, flip it over to KSTP, and the news is coming on there at about 10:40 on Sunday night, and it's, what's his name, Bill Lunn? I don't know. Looks like a guy I know. And Leah Richardson, I don't know who the co-host is. I should look that up. Actually here, KSTPanchors.com. Jessica Miles, Venetti Sakar. I like her, but I can never say her name. Oh, Leah McLean. That's what it is. Anyways, Leah McLean. She's an interesting. She's a perky little blonde, but I like her, and I don't know why. I was watching the news that night, and I was thinking to myself, and this may seem a little creepy. Well, it'll probably seem a lot creepy. And Leah, if you ever hear this, I apologize. But I bet she's got great feet. And I don't know why, but this bizarre thing. I don't have like a foot fetish, and I've never thought of like women in a feet sort of way. But for some reason, she looks like she might have great feet. Weird. Maybe I'm aging. Maybe Jennifer, you need to watch out because I'm going to be checking out your feet now from now on. So hey. But I don't know. It just struck me. And it's the kind of thing that, hey, if you're going to do a show, this is the kind of stuff that, people are interested in. Well, maybe you're not interested. You've gone to the bathroom to vomit or something, and I apologize. But so Leah McLean may have some nice feet. I'll never know. But congratulations to Leah, as maybe we can give our first golden foot out to Leah. On Hey Twin City. So, yeah, this is what goes through my mind, and you should hear my dreams. My dreams are insane. I dreamt last night that I was on the Timberwolves. I dream a lot. I dreamt that I was part of the Timberwolves, and I was kind of making a scene on the bus because we were taking a bus from Oklahoma City to either Denver or Phoenix for our next game. And, I don't know why we'd be taking a bus, of course, if I was on the Timberwolves, and my father-in-law was in it, and I was talking about how, if you go see, Native Americans and, their own land, because the government tends to support a lot of Native Americans as kind of a payback for the land, I guess as a kind of a guilty feeling that we kind of came here and took their land, so to speak. But that's what kind of people do around the world. That's how anybody got their land. They take land. Anyways, where you see the government send the American Indians checks, and it's just a miserable existence because they have no purpose. It seems you find a lot of, not really poverty, but because you see them driving these new trucks, and it's kind of weird, especially in the Southwest, what happens there. And I know what happens. I've heard it happening in the Dakotas as well, where they'll have a situation where the tribal chiefs will make it so you can't buy alcohol because there's an alcohol problem. My Jennifer tells me the story of growing up in Arizona, where you would have, Indians coming into the stores and buying hairspray and drinking that just to get drunk and stuff because of the poverty levels and the money's dispersed to certain tribes and stuff. And then, so some people have and some people do not, and none of them really work. It's a really sad situation. I mean, if you don't have a purpose in life, it's hard to have a life, isn't it? I know people say, I hate going to work, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you hate going to work, start your own business because I want to be your first customer, damn it. I beg you. Anyway, so it's kind of a little rant I got off on there, but anyway, so I guess we have Leah McLean to thank and her sexy feet. Sexy feet, Leah McLean. Anyway, so, hey, speaking of local news here in the Twin Cities, I see that Mike Pomegranate, as I affectionately call him, Mike Pomeranz from Channel 11, is leaving to be the play-by-play man, or maybe the play-by-play heir apparent, I should say, to Mr. Dick Enberg, who must be like 150 by now. Dick Enberg, I remember him calling games on CBS. Was it CBS that had, yeah. No, it was would have been Channel 11, NBC. NBC back in the 80s had the broadcast rights for the NFL. And I remember Dick Enberg would seemingly call every Dan Fouts game with the San Diego Chargers. And the Chargers, Air Coryell back then would be battling with, I don't know, the Raiders or somebody. And it'd be like 44-41 because nobody played any defense. And, Dan Fouts throwing to Kellen Winslow and Dick Enberg on the call. Well, apparently Dick Enberg's a San Diego boy, has been doing San Diego Padres broadcast for a long time. And Pomegranate, Mr. Mike Pomeranz going there, I guess means that he potentially could be the new play-by-play guy, as Dick Enberg is maybe failing. I guess he would be the John Gordon of... well, not really the John Gordon of the Twins, but I don't know. I don't know who to analogize that with, so I just better get out of it. So he gone. Maybe they'll get Leah Richardson on Care 11. It'll be Leah Richardson and Julie McNamara. I don't know her name. I'm not good with remembering media personalities' names. I guess but now that Julie McNamara on Channel 11. I'm guessing no, she probably doesn't have very good feet. I don't know. I've never thought about it until this very moment, but nah, probably not. But Leah McLean, or as I call her, Leah Richardson on KSTP. I bet she's got some. Bet you those gams are connected to a nice set of feet. My feet, meanwhile, are a foot. I don't know if you knew that about me, but my feet are a foot. All right, what else is going on? This is the most bizarre show I've done, which is probably the best show in some ways. So, hey, I see the Vikings. There's talk. I was listening. Speaking of media, I was listening to a show on KFAN, which of course got switched with KTLK. KFAN used to be on 11:30 a.m. and it got switched to 100.3, and then K-Talk, which has like shows like Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity on it. Jason Lewis. got switched to the AM dial. Anyways, I was listening on Sunday morning. I usually listen to Sid and Dave on CCO, but as I love Sid, I just remember the days. I love the days of when Tom Kelly was on and Sid Hartman was on. When Tom Kelly was the manager of the Twins, and somebody would call up and say, "Hey Tom, in the eighth inning when you guys were down 4-2 and or 3-2 rather, and you had Ken Herbeck on second base, how come you didn't pinch run with Jarvis Brown for Ken Herbeck?" And then there'd be this long pause. And Tom Kelly would say something like, "Well, why don't you come on out to the stadium today and you can manage the team?" And then Sid would get on air. "Oh, these geniuses, today's sports hero, Martina Navratilova, all these geniuses think that they can manage better than the best manager in baseball, the best Andy McPhail, the best general manager in baseball, and Jerry Birds is the best coach in football, and Bob Gainey's the best hockey coach in football, and Clem Haskin is the best coach in football. Lou Holtz is the best coach in basketball," and it was great. I love Sid. You got to love a guy who's 93 years old, still doing sports talk radio. I mean, Sid is 93 now. He's the last vestige of WCCO after the days of Boone and Erickson and Joyce Lamont. And who else am I forgetting? Ruth Kozlak and Steve Cannon. Am I forgetting Dark Star? No, I'm not forgetting Dark Star. And then, of course, Sid Hartman. And now there's nothing left. It's like all the vultures have come around, and there's nothing left of the body except the bones there at CCO. So anyways, back to KFAN. So I'm listening to a show called Spaghetti and Meat Sauce or something. I don't know what it was called. I don't remember the guy's name. So I'm just going to call him Spaghetti because his co-host was Meat Sauce. Yeah, I don't know either. They're talking about Robert Griffith III. The Vikings taking him, because the Vikings in the April draft this year have the 3rd overall pick. And of course, if you're a Viking fan, you know that we have a lot of problems in Minnesota. We got Jared Allen, we got Adrian Peterson finally freed from the shackles of being a slave. If you didn't hear his quote during the lockout or the strike, is that he equated himself to being a slave. So, obviously, we know that Adrian Peterson's the ultimate drama queen at this point, but, he's still a pretty good talent. So, we got Adrian Peterson, we got Jared Hillbilly Allen, and that's about it. So, now there's talk on drafting Robert Griffin III. And I'm very much opposed to this because unless this guy, I looked up his stats, it seems that he's a running quarterback because he did run about 10, 15 times a game at wherever he played. I definitely prefer drop-back quarterbacks because if you look back in the history of Super Bowls, can you tell me a running quarterback that has led his team to a Super Bowl championship? Because I can't think of one. I can think of guys like Tom Brady, drop-back quarterback, Joe Montana. Montana was a little bit of a scrambler, but hey, he wasn't a He's not a running quarterback, in the mold of, say, Francis Tarkenton, 0-3 in the Super Bowl. Donovan McNabb, 0-1. Michael Vick, I don't think he's ever been there. Look at the history of running quarterbacks with Tarkenton and Vick and McNabb. None of them ever are able to win the big game. So I do not want the Vikings to take another quarterback. I don't know if Christian Ponder is the future or not. It really didn't seem like he had that much, but you never know. It takes time. Look at Alex Smith for the 49ers. He looked like a bust, and then they put some people around him. I'd love for the Vikings to draft that Ryan Khalil guy, the left tackle out of USC, because I think a good left tackle can turn a team around or trade down and get some good players. So, anyways, there you go. Kevin Love wins the 3-point shot at the All-Star game. Very nice. The 3-point shootout against Kevin Durant. Congratulations to Kevin Love. I got to say that I didn't watch the All-Star game. Looks like Kevin Love did pretty good on Sunday night in the All-Star game. And apparently Derrick Williams, I didn't even know this, was in the slam dunk competition. I don't know how he did. I don't even know who won. Not that I really care, but I'm glad to see that Williams was involved. I know he was kind of a ghost in the rookie All-Star game. Ricky Rubio seemed to light things up there a little bit, as did Kylie Irvin, the number 1 pick. And our number 2 pick, Derrick Williams, not really seen or heard from in that NBA rookie All-Star game, so that's disappointing. I don't know. I think the jury is out on Derrick Williams. I don't know if this guy's going to turn it around. I'm thinking we're looking at Anthony Randolph or Michael Beasley here. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. I mean, I don't know if he doesn't have the confidence, and maybe that's it. But every time it seems like he drives the lane, he draws a foul, or he's blocked. His shot is blocked. So, I don't know. We'll see. What else is going on? Oh, we're running long here. All this talk on Leah Richardson's feet has got me. Let's not make that joke. A vote on the Stillwater Bridge apparently is coming Wednesday. Now, this impacts me because I'm on the east side of the Twin Cities. I have family in western Wisconsin. So, boom, a nice bridge to drive over the St. Croix on would be nice. I know they built that Hudson Bridge when they had to tear that thing down, and one of them was unsafe. They built that really fast, and this 20 years in the making for the Stillwater Bridge. Well, apparently Congress has a vote up on Wednesday to approve funding. I'm talking about the U.S. Congress, those jackals out there. So we'll see if it can happen. Hopefully we can give Michelle Bachmann some credit coming up on Wednesday, and give him maybe a little credit to Mark Dayton on helping getting this passed and built and funded. And then we'll light the environmentalists and an effigy. We'll hang him an effigy. That's what I'm trying to say. That's one of my favorite Cheers moments when they talk about a guy who used to cheat on all of his teammates with Coach, and all the guys are together to memorialize him, and they're like, man, this guy was a terrible guy. And one of the guys says, let's hang him an effigy, because they had this little cardboard cutout of him. And Coach says, to hell with that, let's hang him right here in Boston. Anyways, I'm all over the place. Let's see, JetBlue coming to the Twin Cities, maybe. Sounds like they're going to announce a new airline coming to the Twin Cities, also coming up on Wednesday. Could be Spirit Airlines, which I don't know really anything about. So if it's JetBlue, I guess that's a good thing. I haven't heard too much about JetBlue other than that it's a pretty good carrier, just like Southwest. I like Sun Country myself. Twin Cities based as well. I am a fan of Sun Country. So if you're taking a trip, I'd encourage you to fly Sun Country because they're a Minnesota company. We got to support them, and obviously they're in a system which is run by the FAA, which of course is run by the government. So that means it can't be anything good, but whatever. We try our best. Let's see. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to skip here. Let's wrap up the Twin Cities Talk. Of course, if you got anything to talk about when it comes to Twin Cities Talk, you can shoot me an email at tc@heytc.com. So I got $125 in my greasy, formerly nicotine-stained hands. Well, I never smoked, but in my greasy, formerly the Five Guys and Woodbury stained hands, and I want to be your first customer. You got something I can buy? Come on. This is the whole point. One of the points of the show, besides being my journey in a little Twin Cities Talk, is to be the first customer for you. Are you on unemployment? Hey, start your own business. There's something you got to do. There's something in your sweet spot that you love doing. Maybe you love building model cars. You can make a living at it. Maybe you can't make a living at it selling it, but you could write about it on the internet. You can do your own damn podcast. I'm going to be your first customer. Maybe you make brownies. Maybe you make fried chicken. Really good fried chicken. Well, I love it. Maybe you want to be an auto mechanic and start your own business. Well, hey, here I am. It's not a lot of money, and I can't afford every service that's offered out there, but I sure as hell will try. So I got $125 I want to spend on being a first customer. So, hey, if you're on welfare, disability, Social Security, unemployment, or you got a crappy job in, Burnsville, or you got a crappy job up in Mendota Heights. Well, Mendota Heights not north, but, maybe up in White Bear Lake. Hey, I want to be your first customer. I'm going to hook you up. Speaking of first customer, of course, one of my projects is JenkatGames.com, and you can check out the site if you like or if you don't. But anyways, we have this logo, which is of a cat. So I've been talking to try to find, like these plush toys of like the Angry Birds and stuff. I want to do like plush toys. Well, you got to get these made, and it's like $500 or not $500. You got to get like 500 of them made for a production run. So it's hard to do. But I found this, Jennifer has a friend whose daughter crochet stuff and makes stuffed animals. So I thought, well, that might be kind of sexy. So we've asked her to do a crochet version of our Jenkat cat. So I got that to look forward to, and she says she might be getting into plush toys. So I may not be her first customer because I think she does some other work for people. But hey, I'm glad to be her customer. So that's my success story. I'm somebody else's customer besides five guys in Woodbury, which is pretty darn good. Anyway, so all right. Of course, you can check out the show's website at HeyTC.com. You can email me at tc@heytc.com. And let's wrap this bad boy up. Big show in the book for February 27th of 2012. I appreciate your patience. I will not be late on Thursday. And I'll see you in the emergency room.